for watching another edition of Fitness Friday. I'm Erica Fernandez, and I'm here today with Pilates instructor Charise from Performance Soccer. So first off, Charise, what is Pilates?
Well, Pilates gets a reputation, not necessarily a bad one, for being just all abdominal work. We're going for that six-pack abs, and we just sit and do crunches and V-sits, stretch, go home.
Right.
Could not be further from the truth. There are so many principles that make up the foundation of Pilates. One of them is engaging the core, but what is your core? A lot of people think that six-pack abs, and they couldn't be further from the truth. We're aiming for those muscles deep beneath that six-pack abdominals.
Right.
So if we think of the core as a pop can with a straw, now you have the bottom of your pop can is your pelvic floor. Then we have our transverse abdominis that's wrapping around the pop can. Top of the can is our diaphragm that rises and falls as we breathe. And then, actually, tricky, we have the straw that's our spine. So we consider the spine an addition to the core, which most people don't. So why don't you go ahead and take a seat.
Okay.
And we'll go through this little breathing exercise just so we can feel. And we'll just sit cross-legged.
Okay.
So sitting and breathing with perfect posture can be a great core exercise, or at least just to find what we're looking for. So again, pelvic floor. We have the transverse abdominis, that's cinching. We have our diaphragm, and then we have the spine. So go ahead and take a big, deep breath into your belly. On the exhale, all coordinated, we're going to lift the pelvic floor, cinch the transverse, diaphragm rises. And then inhale, soften. So we should feel that coordination between pelvic floor rising on our exhale, diaphragm rises, transverse cinch. So we can actually control our breath with our core muscles. And then just holding this beautiful long tall spine, we're working our abdominals, we're working that core. All right, so why don't you go ahead and lay down on your back. Now when we're on our back, we have the ground as feedback. We have the ability to feel our low spine in the mat. So if it pops up, we know that we're losing that engagement. So go ahead and bend your knees and put your feet into the ground. Going to get a little weird. We're going to just go through a pelvic tilt. So I want you to bring your hands to your bottom. Nope, just kind of cup your bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. And we're going to keep our back on the mat. So you're going to take a big inhale again. And on your exhale, I want you to think of tilting your tailbone. So tuck your tailbone and press your low spine into the mat. And now inhale, soften. Now our hands are on our backside so that we can feel our glutes stay soft. We want our butt to stay soft, and I don't want you to push, let's widen up a little bit. I don't want you to push any weight into your heels, okay? So draw a big breath into the belly. Now exhale, tuck the tailbone, slightly press your low back into the mat. See how you feel your abdominals pull in?
Right.
That is a pelvic tilt.
Okay.
That is what we call imprinting in the Pilates world. All right, so go ahead, and one more time, we're going to take a big inhale in. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, push the low spine in, and right here, we're going to hold. So that's your imprinting. We should still be able to breathe.
Yeah.
So from there, I'm going to have you float your knees up over your hips. We still have that low spine in the mat, correct?
Right.
So we're holding that pelvic tilt.
Okay.
All right, from here, you're going to inhale, keep your pressure the same on the low back on the mat, and lower down, tap, and come back up. So did you feel anything change in the low back?
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of times we'll feel that kind of popping up.
Right.
That's because we're losing stability through this area.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't realize that this is all supposed to stay still.
Right.
You're supposed to keep your low back where it's at.
Okay.
If you can't do that, we're not doing core work.
So it's more than just the core, it's the lower back as well.
Well, your low back is your indicator as to what your core is doing. So if we can't keep our low back firm into the mat, not forceful, just where it's at, if we can't keep it there, then we're losing our core. It's not staying engaged and holding our pelvis where it needs to be.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a tricky area because you can't exactly see what it's doing, but there's a lot of indicators. And that low back's one of them.
Okay. So I know that a lot of people sometimes probably ask you, I just want a flat belly, I just want a six-pack, but really, what's a simple exercise that you can do?
What we're doing right now. Sit with perfect posture and then just use all of those muscles that we just talked about to lengthen your spine, keep your spine upright, and breathe, thinking of controlling your breath. Inhale, everything softens. Exhale, pelvic floor rises, transverse cinch, diaphragm lifts. And that's it.
Simple, but a little hard.
Yeah, good posture, not this.
When you're used to sitting like this.
Good. Long, tall spine.
All right, perfect. All right, well, thank you so much for being here with me, Charise.
No problem.
Thanks for watching another edition of Fitness Friday. Stay tuned because sports is next with John Scheidler.